Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Friday. Friday's the day of the week. We turn to the BonBon buddies over on Patreon and say, vote us in a map, and they've gone with this one. Now, it's not a request map. This was one of those maps that I've seen on the workshop that at first glance looks very good indeed, and you don't know until you check it out. And this, I feel, is the best purpose for a WhatMap show. A map that looks like it could be one that's really worth getting into, and if you do like the map, there's no reason why you shouldn't go on and play it with the information that you take from this show. But this show will make some decisions for you. It may put you off the map, or it may say to you, actually I really like this map and I can work with it regardless of the minor issues involved. Minor issues that come about because
it's my first map.
Not surprising. Not surprising. Anyway, let's have a little look at what we've got for you today. Yes, we've got a little game of BonBonBingo. Link is in the description. And a little game of click the like button, which I like to refer to as the daily reminder. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people, and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for that support. Today's map is Bergtal by ALPENTRAINER. Yes, ALPENTRAINER's made one map since this. At the time of recording, there may be dozens by the time you watch this show. Let's have a little look at that start square. That looks very playable indeed. No actual intersection, but you can build one of those, can't you? Let's have a little look at the terrain heights. Lots of buildable space with some quite interesting shaped mountains, and I mean that in a good way, mostly. Resources are strong for fertile and ore, although there is a bit of forestry as well if you like that. And if you've got Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing, you've got anchovies in the rivers and shellfish in the lake. A little bit of salmon. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLC required today. Or is there? We've got a couple of trees to subscribe to and the surface rock pack as well. There's no link for a theme. I don't know what theme they used on the map. Now remember, I've done thousands, well, not thousands, hundreds and hundreds, over 1,000 reviews, and every map that's used a different theme, pretty much 99% of those themes I'm still subscribed to. So when I don't have a theme, I have no idea what theme is being used. So we're running with the one that automatically loaded, which was the vanilla European theme, and the realistic 1.2 LUT. And look at that view. Look at that view. This is, remember, this is vanilla theme, and that is a strong view. This map does have some nice stuff to talk about, and it does have some problems. And because some of the problems are going to make this map feel like it's the worst thing in the world, and it really isn't, but it's going to make it feel like it. I'm not even going to discuss them until a little bit later on. So if you're seeing some stuff now, which experienced WhatMappers will already be seeing, I'm going to say to you, yes, I know. Can you just sort of like sit on it for a minute, okay? Sit on it for a minute. Let's just look at the good things about the map. Let's accept that this creator has got a bit of a vision. Like, for example, we have a dry river here crossing. It's always nice to see a dry river crossing. It's obvious that when you have a river, you have water in it. And these rivers, water rivers are pretty than dry rivers, but it adds a bit of variation. Whether that variation is intended or not, we will be seeing in the second half of this show. Intersection coming up. This is like effectively the main intersection. It's going to bring the two highways together, and it's clearly hand drawn by the creator. And while it's not the most pretty thing you're ever going to see, it certainly is going to do the job, and it's done to a pretty decent standard. Remember, it's a my first map as well, so considering all of that, it's a it's not an ugly. And do you know what? I'm really glad it's not just a plopped wishbone, which it could easily have been. Another dry river crossing there, and now we're heading around the top end of the lake here. I think we're in Start Square territory here. I forgot to make note of where the Start Square was, but yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, around this lake area here is the Start Square. And then we're heading off towards the top end of the map. Now, there is a rail connection. The rail connection is in the style of the vanilla maps, which is, it doesn't enter the start square, falls some way short. It might actually be as much as 2. I've not actually specifically checked where it dead ends. It's at least 1 tile away, maybe 2 tiles away. But that's how they did the original vanilla map. So we can't really criticize the creator if they've taken inspiration from the original work. Anyway, these highways go off towards the edge of the map that way, so I think once we can see that that does connect, that there are other highway connections that, well, I'm not going to show you in the review, but this is the one that connects from both sides of the map. The other 2 highway connections, well, they fall short, and deliberately so. So I would imagine that's just to prevent dummy traffic. You can connect them yourself in the map editor if you like. The lack of catenaries here on the rail, this is down to me. I was doing some work on BonBon Island earlier, and I forgot to reinitialize them, and apparently switching them on and off doesn't make any difference once you've got the mod active, so it would appear. So no catenaries, so that's down to me. It's not going to affect the score in any way, shape or form. A little bit of encroaching a tree on the rail there, clearly a branch line. Yes, the branch line joke is out again. And as rail lines go, do you know what? I like the route of this. I like the fact that we've got a nice straight long bit of rail here where there would be no reason for it to be wending and winding about. So there's good quality work there as well. Whenever you see a map that's going to have some problems, and we'll get to those in the second half of the show, there's usually something good to talk about in the comments. Try to find the good things to talk about in the comments if you can, please. Gone a little bit uppy down here, but it's again well within the realms of a base game style play. And some more trees on the road. Again, without Anarchy, these will not be showing, so that is fine. If you don't play with Anarchy, you will have no trees on the road. And that ends there, which means it's time for the intermission.
Do you have trouble knowing how to start a new city? Do you need to return to the absolute basics just this once? Don't worry, I won't tell. Then you need BonBonB's Beginner's Guide to your first city. Click the information button now.
Either that video or of course my new Let's Play episode 2 is out tonight, 6 PM UK time, and it's a premiere, so you'll be able to chat with me in the chat as well. Right, so shipping routes at Bergtahl by ALPENTRAINER. This one, yeah, good to see. It's a bit tight down here, and I've not tested it, but I'm not 1,000,000% convinced that the ships will make it over that ridge there as they come in. They may, I think they could, but they might actually get wedged. So don't rely on shipping on this map. Water flow, there is no water flow, but we do have 3 separate sources all within the start square. So pumping and drawers will be very happy with that. That would work very nicely. And then the map as a whole, which I think, again, we're not using the theme that they would like, but I have no idea what theme it is. But even in vanilla, I would say this is a very striking map. I'm loving the shapes of the mountains. These 3 peaks look absolutely stunning. Clearly from a height map. So that's, well, I say clearly, I would say from a height map. Unlike this hill over here, which is very clearly raised using the terrain tool. You actually see from above the old circular brush strokes there. So possibly a little bit of smoothing along with the smoothing brush there. Maybe, possibly. Again, it's right on the edge of the map. Who cares? Who cares? Right, okay, now dry rivers. Let's have a look at this one. You can see the way it drops into the main river there. Very dry up here. And then we start getting a little bit of dribble coming down here. We get a big old splash here with some drowned trees right there. The only bit of where there's some water and we have some drowned trees. And then we go dry, then we go wet again. And now we're going up. You can see we're going upstream. We're going uphill. And the water has just died out. You see by the split here, we're definitely going upstream. So the water just dries away. And if we go downstream down the other route, we're going to reach a little bit of similar. Come on, get the camera moving, BonBon. We're going to reach similar down this way, where the water just actually stops completely there, where it's a pinch point there. the water doesn't quite make it through, and from that point down, this is that original dry river we saw. I don't think it's an intentional dry river. I think that is meant to be flowing along there. We also have a dam here, which you can decide whether you like this or not. Would you see water pouring through the bottom of that, or are you okay? I think I'm okay with it like that. I don't think it's intentionally like that, but I think it works. So let's let that one be. This particular river looks very much like it's being gouged out of the environment. Doesn't look like it. A little bit of finishing along the edges with the smoothing tool, just to take some of those sharp edges along the river banks out. Okay, let's get to the big problem. Yes, experienced Watts mappers will already notice we've got these 2-lane highways. These are indeed mass transit. Now, if you have mass transit, the map will be working fine. If you don't have mass transit, the map will load, but there'll be no highways on it, which will make it difficult to somewhat get your traffic into the city. So again, technically speaking, the map will be broken. But that's not the end of it. See, technically speaking, the map being broken and the map actually being broken are two different things. And you're about to see that the map is actually broken as well. As we come over here, these are those 2 highways that will go nowhere. They fall short of the edge of the map. But see how the brightness of those lines changes. That 2-lane highway there is Network Extensions 2. Now, that's a mod, and without Network Extensions 2, this map literally will not load. It will just load up as a broken mess. So, without that being listed as a requirement, I have to assume you don't have it. We've got a dry lake here as well. And so, we're not just assuming that it's broken, we're accepting it's broken. Okay, a little bit of blue mantle underneath here. This is the original first bridge that we went over as well. I hid that from view as we flew over because I didn't want to bring the map down too much too soon. As you can see, there was plenty of little grumbles, and I just didn't. There's lots of good stuff about this map, and I just didn't want to start off on a downer. I wanted to show off that the creator has a bit of a vision, and the vision is a good vision because they wear spectacles, maybe. And we've got an asset of the day. Let's have a look at that. Now, today's asset is somewhat uninspiring, deliberately so, by Lead TT3. It's the American Commercial 1. And if you check out the workshop page, link as always in the description to both the map and the asset. But if you check the workshop page, you can see how this has been used in a city build and how amazing it looks. As it looks right here, it's kind of a bit dull. A bit boring, and it just doesn't shine. But I promise you, this is like just the base. This is just the base for however you want to use it, and I would say it can be used in many, many, many ways. Not just as an American commercial, though it is a commercial unit, isn't it? Factoids. Shall we do factoids? I think we do factoids because factoids. There are more Jews in America than in the whole of the state of Israel. I think we all knew that. The land of the free and the home of the brisket. That's the one. Anyway, yes, we've got a very, very, very nice little, simple, uninspiring, plain, boring, disinteresting little unit. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using that one in my map. My city. That's the one. I'm done making the map. I'm now building the city. Yeah, the island. Yeah, check me out tonight, 6 PM UK time, for episode 2. We'll be doing some highway work. Like highway work. Right, okay, what do you think of today's map? Your chance to get involved. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, let's start off with the good. Aesthetically, quite pleasing. Could it be a 4-star map? Well, with the custom theme, who knew? Who knew? But yeah, as it is, I can't know. I like the shapes of the mountain, like the shape of the overall shape and vibe of the map. I'm going to go slightly above middle 3. Let's be a little generous because I'm not going to be generous with detailing. There's some good work on detailing, but there's too many minor things holding this back, like trees in the water and the little splash of blue mantle and dry rivers where there shouldn't be and such. I've got to go 2 stars. Let's go middly high 2. Yeah, okay. Gameplay probably would have been middly to high 3, but with the missing mass transit and the missing network extensions too, it's very doubly broken, so it has to get 1 star. Bergtahl by ALPENTRAINER. So yeah, if you've got mass transit, if you've got network extensions too, this map isn't broken, but that has to be listed on the workshop. I have to repeat this every time because there's always somebody who's never heard it. The map isn't broken, but these aren't listed on the workshop page, so therefore I have to assume you don't have them. I have to assume them. Anyway, that is it from me and the great nation of the United Kingdom. Unless you want to go and watch some Biffa today, in which case there's more from the great nation of the United Kingdom. Use the word of the day in the comments for some population points, and I'll be back tonight with the island. See you then.